Unity. Unity seemed like a good topic today. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of there's definitely a feeling of anxiety, and I don't want to say stress, but I just want to say eagerness and anxiety for things that are happening today. Let me tell you what this Daily Fuel is not going to be. It's not going to be a political statement. It's not going to be some societal thing like go vote or vote for this one or that one or any of that. I'm pretty sure 500 and something people in this group. I'm sure that 500 and something people know exactly what they stand for at this point. So I'm not going to go into all of that. It's also not going to be a whole like kumbaya type of everything's going to be okay no matter what kind of video. I definitely have my preferences of what's going on today, and I definitely have my feelings around that. And if it doesn't go my way, I'm definitely going to be pissed off. But I was just thinking about all of this and having a discussion with my daughter, who is becoming very aware of the world around her as she's 17 now and feels very strongly about things and doesn't understand how things are certain ways, and just trying to explain it to her made me realize that that I wanted to talk today about unity, and the reasons that I'm doing what I'm doing. It's really interesting. I've said this before, but I started this group not really knowing why I was starting it. I just knew I wanted to start a group, and I wanted to get conversations going with people, and it quickly turned into this art thing, and then that quickly just turned into this whole thing where we're all sharing stuff, and it's just been a snowball effect for me personally. And the last week or so, I like nailed it, like hit upon exactly what it is I want my business to be. And it would have never happened if I just didn't take that step and then that step and then that step by starting the group and then making it about art and then doing this and letting people post their stuff and having these conversations. And then today comes and I realize the dichotomy between what we do in society and what we do as artists. And it's very stark to me, and I just wanted to share this outlook with you. We have, especially today, right? So we have politics, we have the news, we have social media, and all of these things in our daily lives, especially with the way that the news is, where it's 24/7, and they have to fill every minute with something, and it's all about division. Everything is designed to create divisions, to divide us, to pit us against each other, to make us fight, to make us disagree, and then social media just compounds that by we only start seeing things we agree with, so that people that we disagree with we're no longer talking to anymore, and so that when they say something it's just like, what the hell are you saying? That's the most stupid thing I've ever heard in my life. But if you talked in real life, you'd probably realize you agree on 99% of everything, and maybe some surface things you disagree with. Unless it was a conversation about cannibalism where I'm pro cannibalism and you're not. That's when we don't have those conversations generally, But everything in our society makes it seem like that's what we're talking about here. It's like we have the cannibals on one side and the non-cannibals on the other side, and they're like, "Oh, this is delicious. Why don't you like this?" And we're like, "Are you insane?" That's what it feels like, right? And then on the other side of all of that nonsense, we have art. We have what we do. We have what we are. And art is creativity. It's about uniting. It's about that shared common human experience that we all feel, right? You don't see people with different political views in museums going, "Oh, this is disgusting. I don't understand what any of this is." No, everybody feels it. Everybody can see it. Everybody can sense it. Everybody likes music. Everybody likes paintings. Everybody likes sculptures. Everybody likes, not the same ones, but that's okay. But we all feel it. We all sense it. We all get it. The news and the politics requires drama and action and movement. It thrives on fear and it thrives on uncertainty, and it's got to keep you on the edge of your seat, because the whole damn thing is a horror movie that never climaxes. Because as soon as it does, yay, your guy won. Well, now the other side is doing this, blah, blah, right? And, we're going to court and we're doing this, and, blah, blah, and they passed this bill and they're doing this thing. And it's like the stress never calms down. By the way, if you've been stressed out all day, take a break and have some water, because we can be. I saw this thing. It was like, stop doom scrolling today and take a break and have some water. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. So do that. Art, on the other hand, is quiet. Art is patient, it's pensive, it's thoughtful, it's all of those wonderful qualities that it's just kind of there, and it's there for you when you need it. The thing about art is that it doesn't mind if you miss the point. It doesn't mind if you don't notice it, because it's always there. And when you're ready for it and you do notice it, it welcomes you with open arms into this collective of the human experience. And that other stuff is just always going to be that other stuff. Art thrives on unity and harmony, whereas all of this political stuff thrives on fear and disharmony and disunity and uncertainty. And you know what else thrives on harmony and unity? The entirety of the universe. That's where we live. We live in a universe of harmony and unity. And the reason why this stuff feels so bad to us is because it's not in our DNA. It's not what we're supposed to be doing. It's artificial. We created this crap to fight about, and then we fight about it, and then we stress about it. Anyway, let's not do that. I'm not saying don't vote. I voted. And I care about voting. And as a side note, I'm not big on shouting out my political preferences, but I do have a little rule of thumb about who to vote for in any election, because we here in the United States, we're voting for the president today, right? But the president's not the only thing running. It goes all the way down to dog catcher, and that's called like down ballots, right? If you're not from here or you don't have elections in your country, I know there are people from many countries here. And, but here's the thing I realize is that you could, if you don't know who to vote for, like, especially around here, I don't know if this is everywhere, but around here they always have like, vote this person for assemblyman or this person for a county, this or that, right? And it never says like what party they're from, and you can't tell from the signs. It's just their name and the thing they're running for, and you have no idea who they are. But if you look into issues and things like that, they all seem to be jibber jabbering. Look at their position on art, and not that they are going to come right out and say, "Oh, well, my position on art is this." No, but look at the ones who are funding art, and look at the ones who are not, because the ones who are not are generally part of the group that is looking to control people. And the ones who are funding art and trying to promote art in general are the ones who are going to promote creative thinking and more free will and all of that stuff. Art is kind of like a bellwether, is that the word? Or like the canary in the coal mine, that thing we can look at, that they're not like out front about it, but they're also not hiding it because most people aren't paying attention to it. But if you looked at what they did with art, you could see, and you can see this especially in like the people running for school boards and stuff. The ones who are like, we have to save money and cut our taxes, so the first thing we're going to do is get rid of the arts program. No, absolutely not, right? In my opinion. Because when you do that, you're stifling young minds from learning how to be creative thinkers and how to think for themselves. And instead what they're trying to do, and they may not even know that they're doing this, but the result is that they create people who just get in line and step in line and don't know how to think for themselves. And art helps people think for themselves. Anyway, that's my 2 cents about that. I'm going to come to the comments now and say hello to everybody. And let's see what we got. Kelly, right, you hand flaring and not breathing. How'd I do? Robert, oh, my dad's here. Hi, Dad. How you doing? Hi, Bobby. I stand for you. Oh, thank you, Dad. I appreciate that. Hector says hello. Hello. How you doing? Kelly says, some of my favorite art is when there are extremely contrasting things put together. The contrast helps us hone in on the beauty. When there are extremely contrasting things put together, the contrast helps us hone in on the beauty. Is that? I forgot what I was talking about. I just said that. But okay, thank you. Ray, take it easy. Don't get your furry little being in a knot, but I do like your passion. Thank you. I always get myself in a knot. Hector, I voted for Bobby. Thank you. I would never ever be a politician. I would tell people I would just be a bad politician. I would have my opinion on things we should do, but I wouldn't want to fight with the other side about anything. I would just be like, I would just tell them they're morons, and that would be that. And I wouldn't have the patience for it. I would not have the patience for it whatsoever. Kelly, the universe is harmony, but it expands and grows based off the disharmony that's created through our experience. Oh, okay. So is that what you meant? They're extremely contrasting things put together. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, right, like today, right? That's interesting. I was thinking about kind of getting into that a little bit about how, you know, the arguing and the fighting and such passion on both sides. You're right, because really what it is, I mean, if we think about it from let's throw all of this 3D stuff in the garbage for a minute and just talk about it in terms of like spiritual beings, right? We are spirits having a human experience, and as spiritual, infinite, forever beings, right? We're never going to die. We're all of that stuff. Then none of this stuff really matters. What we're doing is it's kind of like we're on a roller coaster, and there's ups and downs, and there's twists and turns, and all of that stuff, and we're fighting about how crappy and stressful they are, and then we get off the ride at the end, you know, like when you croak, and you get off the ride, and you're like, that was great, let's do that again, because you don't ride a roller coaster the whole time petitioning and writing your congressman that it has fewer dips and dives. That would be ridiculous. But that's what we do on this roller coaster of life. You know, we just complain about the ups and the downs and the twists and the turns, and really that's why we're here. But I think as artists, we have this ability to tap into that bigger picture and to remind ourselves so that when those twists and turns and ups and downs get a little bit too bad for your stomach, we can remind ourselves and maybe soothe it a little bit and soothe the others around us to just say like, it's okay. It's okay. Everything's going to be okay. So thanks for that, Kelly. I voted for Bobby. Danielle, hey, how you doing? And Hector says those cutting funds for art are probably not creative artists themselves. No, I don't think so. Why would any creative artist? You know, I'm watching The West Wing on Netflix. It's a show that I watch like every 1 or 2 years or so. I just watch it again. There is not. Every single season, there's at least one episode where they're fighting to keep funding for the National Endowment of the Arts, the PBS, anything that's publicly funded art-wise. And the first few times I watched that show, I always thought it was interesting. I was like, how nerdy, you know, like this thing is in there that they said that. But I always noticed it. And as I'm watching it again this time, I notice it very much because here I am doing this. And it just reminds me that, you know, once again, art is about creative thinking. And we need creative thinkers for our society and everything. And so when there are people who are trying to squash creative thinking, I think that's who we should be looking to not vote for. That's my opinion. Okay, and that's the last comment. So I guess we're done. I can breathe. Okay. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me today. Go drink some water. Don't start watching things until at least 7 o'clock because there's not going to be any news, and they're not going to know anything. And let's not stress out if there's no thing tonight, you know, whatever it is. And if you're watching from another country, I know people in other countries care very much about what's going on here. So we're all whatever. I don't know what I'm saying at this point. Anyway, thank you for being here with me today, and I appreciate it. Have a good night. Hector, you get the booby prize, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks. Hopefully. I'm only kidding. Bye.